So some of my friends from high school are doing their gender reveal tomorrow, and they must have thought, you know, who better to reveal the gender than the Pyro Master himself, which is me. I'm the Pyro Master, in case you didn't know. Now, historically, gender reveals involving fireworks and other things that go boom have never ended well, and there's plenty of YouTube videos to back this up if you don't believe me. They just never seem to turn out right, and something always goes wrong. Whether that's a huge wildfire or somebody gets hurt or the color of the fireworks is wrong. That's actually one of the nightmares I'm having right now. But we're gonna get the right color fireworks. I'm gonna try to not stress myself out over it. The only thing I am going to make sure to do is implement some other safety precautions. So like I'm gonna have like some sort of board that will block the fireworks from tipping over in the way that the people are watching them from. I never really care about that or do that in firework displays. But this is different just because I know how bad these gender reveals usually turn out. And this is also going to give me an opportunity to test out this new cake rack that I designed where we can actually angle cakes that are straight up. Now I'm sure that other companies have already created this, but I'm going to take a stab at building one myself, and we're going to be developing the first prototype ever in this video. So right now I just need to go to Menards and get some supplies, and I will update you guys a little later. Now, gender reveals are notorious for going wrong, especially when they include some sort of explosive or firework device. So I'm going to be taking a few extra precautions with this one. So this is what I picked up from Menards. I'm going to be building like a double barrier on both sides of the fireworks with this. And the idea is, you know, this is 3/4 inch thick plywood. The cakes will be positioned in the middle of these two boards. And then I was thinking I would just take some of the scrap wood here and put it on there like that so that we've got some legs. And this way they will be able to stand up on their own. To transport these with the legs on is gonna be kind of tough. So I'm just gonna be putting in like one screw, flipping these things up so I can put them in my pickup, and then on site I'll flip them down and then put one on either side of the 4 cakes. Now I'm also gonna use this as an opportunity to experiment with some new cake rack designs that I've come up with. We're gonna be using milk crates. Now, as you know, I don't use these with canister shells anymore, but I think we can use milk crates to safely fire cakes at an angle. So one thing that's really cool is the mother and father to be have entrusted me with this. This is the gender. Nobody knows, not even them. So I am the only one with this information. And so since I'm the only person that knows, this is not only going to be a surprise for them, but it's going to be a surprise for you guys as well. You'll have to stay tuned till the end. I'm not going to show you what color cake I'm shooting. We're just all gonna find out together. So before we go any further, I wanna show you kind of my idea. Now, again, this is just a prototype, but for some angled cake racks, you can definitely see now how we can angle the milk crates, and then we don't have to worry about the cake not being able to touch solid ground. By doing it like this, the bottom of the cake is actually touching the milk crate itself. And then because of all these holes through here, we can take a really large, thicker zip tie and actually zip tie the cake to one corner of the box, making it secure so there's no way it'll tip. And as it turns out, the 500-gram cakes actually are a bit smaller than this milk crate. So what I'll be doing here is taking some wood and kind of putting it off to the side like that so we can get the cakes further away from both of the sides. Now there'll be another piece of wood, maybe even 2 here. I plan on cutting this larger piece here down to size so we can use them in the corners of these racks to get the cake away from the ledge. So like the top of the tubes, the reason why I'm doing this is because the top of the tubes come up about right here, and I just don't want them grazing the side of the milk crate here, especially on the angled ones. So to avoid that, we really want to have a piece of wood that is lower than the actual length of the tubes that are going inside of the milk crates. And when I get those cakes in there, I'll get you a better example of what that'll look like. So these are the 4 cakes we're gonna be using, and each one is 25 shots. However, when we do gender reveals, we kind of want everything to go off at once. Now, even though these firework cakes do have a pretty decent pace on them already, it is not fast enough for my liking. I kind of want one big finale that lasts like 2, maybe 3 seconds. So to achieve this, what I'm gonna do is go around on each of these tubes that surround the outer part of the cake. We're not gonna be doing anything to the ones in the middle, but I'm gonna be making a hole right here into the lift charge and connecting all of the tubes together with this gray quick fuse. And then of course, to reinforce the cake, since we did put a hole in it, we're gonna be using hot glue to not only patch up that hole, but keep the quick fuse where it needs to be. Well, the cakes are finally done. Got quick fuse going around the whole thing. I went with not one, but 2 igniters per cake. This way, if we do have a bad igniter, at least we've got a second chance the cake will fire. I don't want there to be any possibility of error. And now I just have to get these 4 cakes inside of these 4 milk crates, but that means first I've got to build the rack. So this right here, I believe, is the exact amount of space I need to get the ones on the right and left angled out a little bit. And I think that angle is just going to be perfect. So now I just want to add 1 piece on either side to hopefully maintain that angle a little bit. So now we've got something like this to kind of hold that angle. I didn't want these 2 outer boards to be that long where it comes too far up against this, because the cake is going to be sitting on the far side of the rack, like right here. Now we get to play around with some extra large zip ties. So now that I've got them secure and where I want them as far as the angle goes, I'm going to add a few screws just to further reinforce the milk crate. These things ain't going anywhere. Now I just got to get these 2 middle ones attached, and I'm going to go ahead and skip the zip ties on these and go straight to screwing them into the board. Well, I would say these racks are about as good and as stable as they're gonna get. Now I gotta get all 4 cakes in here and find a way to secure them to one corner of the milk crate. So one of the issues I figured was going to happen with these 3-foot igniters is that they're not all going to reach one module. So this is going to have to be a 2-position or 2-module type firing. And so I'll have an 18M here and an 18M there, channel 1 and channel 2. And I'm basically just going to script this thing out by 2 seconds so that it fires all of these simultaneously. Now, I'm aware these racks look kind of janky with the milk crates and everything, but again, this is just a prototype, kind of like a proof of concept. And eventually I'm gonna have it where these milk crates are replaced with a wooden box and possibly make them adjustable. So the next thing on the agenda is to secure all 4 of our cakes to the 4 milk crates. So our 2 racks are now complete. We've got station 1 and station 2. The cakes are pretty freaking secure. Like, I'm not worried about these moving at all. And again, this whole thing kind of fires in like 2 seconds. So it's not even gonna give these cakes enough time to jump out of the milk crates if they were to do that. Slim chance though. And that's why the next thing we're gonna be building is 2 safety beams to put on either side of this rack. So if there is any low breaks, anything tips over, it's gonna be blocked by 3/4 inch plywood. So we've got a bit of an issue. Yeah, you guys see the problem. I'm not going back to Menards to get more plywood, but what I am gonna do is just whichever way the people are watching this from, so like let's say they're watching it from over there, then I'm just gonna have these 2 boards on this side of the 2 racks, and that way if we do have a low break or something tips over it, at least we'll protect them, and we're just gonna have to sacrifice anything behind these cakes. Got them both done now, and it's gonna look roughly something like this out at sight. And the sun's going down out there, which means I am done for the day, and tomorrow is the gender reveal, so we will see you guys then. So I just finished scripting the gender reveal fireworks, and as you can see, I've got 2 channels here. Each one of those cues on each channel fires at 1 second, so we're gonna have like 1 second after the initial button push, and then all 8 of those cues fire at the same time. So now we just have to make sure that the 18R2 remote accepts the script to make sure I did everything right. So I'm just gonna plug it right here in the side, and we're about to find out if it worked. All right, it looks like it took the script. As you can see, we've got 4 cues there on channel 1. The reason they're red is because we obviously don't have any modules on and no igniters hooked up. And channel 2, you can see we got 4, so we are ready to go. What we do to fire this script, or all 8 of the fireworks going off for the gender reveal, is we just come on over here to channel 1 and we push Q1, and it will fire all of these and all of those at the same time. Okay, so you may have noticed that the audio has gotten significantly better, and that is because there's about 20-mile-an-hour wind right now. And I know that you can't really see this wind, but trust me, it's there. And we are here at shoot site. It is now the next day, and I've got everything set up. I wanted to make sure that I did this before it got too dark, and that's why I wasn't able to get you guys footage of the actual setup. But basically, I can come over here and just show you what I've done. So those wires that were sticking out of the milk crates are now in here. As you can see, cues 1 through 4 are going to be taken on channel 1, which is here, and channel 2, which is over there. Now, one thing that's going to be really cool here is I've actually set up 2 lawn chairs. You can see them right there. And I'm going to have the mother and father to be push the button on the Cobra, and I think it's just going to be really awesome. Now, the plywood boards, I went ahead and put them behind here just so people traveling along this road don't go, what are these guys doing over here in their backyard? This is illegal. When actually it's not. So when we shoot them, we're going to put these plywood boards right in front of this so that everybody watching over here doesn't have to worry about getting hit with any fireworks. And we'll see you guys at shoot time. So I wanted to get you guys this shot here without the mic to show you. Maybe you can hear some of the wind now in the background. Like, it's definitely a 20-mile-an-hour wind. I'm just hoping it stops before it gets too dark. It's go time, and I'm not going to use a mic. All right, Tyler and Daniel, are you ready?
Yeah.
You're ready? Okay, I'm gonna have you push the button 1 in 3, 2, 1. It's a girl. Thank you. Congrats. We got to confirm, make sure that this was right. So why don't you guys go ahead and open that?
It's a girl.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is how you do a gender reveal without starting a fire and without major chaos. That was a lot of fun. Congratulations, Tyler and Daniel. You're gonna love having a baby girl. I've been raising my daughter for a little over a year now, and she's the best thing that ever happened to me, so I know you guys are gonna love her. And we'll see you guys next time.